Why do young rappers hate Tupac? And this is a question that's been asked over the last week or so. Anthony Fantano's done this. There's been on Twitter, etc., etc., etc. But why do young rappers hate Tupac? And I'm just going to go through a list of people that have said what I consider to be stupid things about Tupac from this young generation of rappers. So we'll start with 03 Greedo. Tupac was a bitch ass. Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty can't name 5 Biggie or Tupac songs. Lil Xan says Tupac's boring. XXX Tentacion says he's better than Pac. Kodak Black says he's bigger than Pac and Biggie. And Joey Badass supposedly believes he's a bigger rapper than Pac. But I've heard somewhere that he was making a joke and he wasn't actually serious. But this younger generation of rappers, they don't like Pac and they think they're bigger than Pac and Biggie. But the question is, why? The big question is, why do they believe this? And I think a lot of it goes down with this whole rap generation debate that's been going on for the last few months. Since Everyday Struggle started. Since the world legendary bust up between Joe Budden and Lil Yachty that really did make shockwaves. But I think that's the first thing that needs to be addressed. I think if you look at the Lil Yachty generation, they don't know. They know who Pac is, but they don't get the cultural significance of Pac. For them, their Tupac is Drake. Their Tupac is Big Sean, J. Cole. They didn't live through the Tupac age. They didn't live through the East Coast, West Coast beef. So I don't think they've ever learnt, or so to speak, about the importance of Tupac compared to my generation, the old generation. I think that's the first thing. They don't they understand but don't fully acknowledge the importance of Tupac and his influence on hip-hop. Secondly, thirdly, and I think the second point is going to tie into the first one, they're probably sick of hearing us, the older generation, harping on about how brilliant Tupac and Biggie were. Greatest MCs of all time. Greatest artists, rap artists of all time. And I don't want to disrespect the memory of both Pac and Big, but I always have wondered if they hadn't sadly and tragically died, and they were still carrying on making album after album after album, 20 years on, would we be saying these guys are the greatest rappers of all time? If this was Jay and Nas who got shot, would we turn around and go, the two greatest rappers of all time are Jay and Nas, followed by Pac and Biggie? Not the other way around as we see it now. So, when you've got no cultural point to make, to hold on to, is it like constantly hearing about how important Pac and Biggie were? Does it get annoying? And I wouldn't be surprised if the answer is yes. We have rammed this message down these kids' throats for years, but our older generation rammed it down our generation's throat, and we accepted it. Then, I think, there's a bit of disrespect towards the older generation of rappers. Again, look at the Joe Budden Little Yachty exchange on Everyday Struggle. I think that shows how there's a lack of respect on both sides to both generations of hip-hop artists. They don't get the other generation, let's say. They don't understand it. You look at Lil Uzi Vert, he refused to rap over, I think it was a Primo beat on Hot 97 or something. And it's a total disrespect for the culture. And I think this disrespect comes from the fact that from an age where everyone listens to everything. You look at Uzi Vert, he's a fan of Manson. You look at Lupe Fiasco, who's kind of like the bridge generation, big fan of Linkin Park, big fan of Limp Bizkit. You look at Post Malone. A white guy, he listens to rock music, I'm guessing. I'm guessing he listens to rock music with the look he has. And they've got new places to take their influences from. So the guys who like Jay-Z took his influences from, they're going to be completely different. The influences of Lupe Fiasco, completely different to 21 Savage. It's a different time era. And I think the last bit is that these guys are trying to have a pissing contest. Let's see who's got the biggest stick. Let's see who can piss off the older generation the most. And they get their opinions asked for by all these publications. So they're going to go out and say the most outlandish thing. They probably don't believe most of it. I don't think O3 Greedo, I wouldn't actually want to put it through my head that O3 Greedo thinks Pac's a bitch. I don't think Lil Xan's probably properly listened to Tupac to call him boring. And I think they're just coming out with these outlandish statements because it will get him the press, and it's, look at my dick is bigger than yours, so to speak. And it's sad, really. So I think I don't think young rappers hate Tupac. I just don't think they understand the importance of Tupac. They don't get Tupac as a cultural, icon, so to speak. So they're coming out with this stupid shit. And you know what? That's all I've got to say on the matter, and I'll see you next time. Peace.